But this is the one where we're going to actually talk to the Carter family. You remember in later season? Yes, people like, yay, the Carters. Sarah Carter and Roy Lance, who remembers two adorable sons, Jeb and Jason, who are played by Lindsay Kennedy and Jason Creed. Grown up, they're adorable, are they not? Yes. And I think they're really, really cool. And we didn't get to work together very much because I left in season 7, and they came in then. But then when I came back for the return of Nellie, the episode where I was hanging with Nancy and everything, we had a party, and it was really awesome. I had this purple dress, and there was a cake and everything, and they were actually in that scene, so I did technically get to do one scene with them. But mostly in that episode, I was not hanging with the Carters because I was doing all that stuff with my little sister Nancy, who's Allison Balson. And my favorite part was when she was snoring, and I got to reach over and hold her nose. And this is really good. And I like that because I got to come back and visit everybody. Because I've been gone, because I left in the 7th year, and I went off and I did a whole movie of the week with Marie Osmond, and I did
Carter family, Carter family.
Oh, them, right, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, the fabulous Carters!
Hi everyone, I think Allison's gonna linger behind and heckle us and stuff, so.
That's our first time.
We welcome that.
So we have no script, no agenda, so fire away is my thought.
Yeah, I mean that's the idea here, right? I think, you've probably heard of all our stories over the last day or two, or know our short histories. So I think we just want to leave it over to you guys. Like, if you have, yeah, just a quick how we got here. Yeah, I mean, just really quickly, I had been acting from the age of about 5. Did a couple of shows in Los Angeles, grew up in Los Angeles, did some TV in LA, commercials in LA, some print work in LA. Did a show called Galactica 1980, which was the end of the Battlestar Galactica series. And then did a couple episodes of Chips, and then got the opportunity, yeah, thanks, Chips. Oh, is that better? It's too patchy. There we go. Well, I'm at the end of my resume, so got the opportunity to read for the part of Jeb Carter, and I think maybe 3, 4, 5 auditions it took or so. Eventually getting to read for Michael and the producers, and got the part and met these guys, and spent about a year or 2, yeah, doing the show, and then I retired. And, all right, bye.
Hello? So if you can't tell, we're all very kind of casual and informal, so just talk away and let us know what you want. I'll start with my story. So I did a Pampers commercial when I was 11 months old, and then I started doing a lot of commercials. I've done a lot of sitcoms. I was in Highway to Heaven, St. Elsewhere, Mr. Belvedere, Amazing Stories, Chips, Family Ties. I've done a ton of commercials and print ads and stuff. This is kind of funny because I didn't even know that Missy Francis was in the show, but I knew her as a kid because we did some print ads together. And then I was thumbing through some stuff the other day, and I saw that apparently Shannon Doherty and I were in The Inquirer together. I had forgotten all about that, and the story in a nutshell, and again, I have no idea what this meant, there's no truth to this, but basically, she owned a pet snake, allegedly, and we had a boa constrictor wrapped around our shoulders, and we were friends from the set, which is true. But so anyway, when I was on the show, I was 9 and 10. I don't recall either, like Lindsay, how many auditions I had. Me, Lindsay, and Pam were talking the other day, and I asked her, did we all read together as a family before we were hired? I'm sure I read with Michael before I was hired. So I was on the last season, as you guys know, and then after that, I was in The Burning Bed with Farrah Fawcett. I played her son. And I was in Amazing Stories was the last thing I did, and I played Mark Hamill, which was Luke Skywalker, as a child. And there's someone here that thought that was really cool. There's a Trekkie ball. There, yeah! Philippe from Australia, ladies and gentlemen. that's my story. And then I got out of the business when I was 12. I've been in it for 12 years, and I just wanted to be a normal kid and play with my friends. I got to the point where I was going on auditions just about every day. So from 12 years old on, I've been a normal person in corporate America, married, kids, and that's about it. Here's Pam.
Yeah, you're kind of at a disadvantage. The boys were too young to remember anything, and I'm too old to remember what happened in a bad way. But we're all so grateful that you would spend a few minutes to hang out with us and maybe get to know us. I had been teaching high school up in Portland. I had trained to be an actress. It's all I ever really wanted to do. And I spent 3 years teaching, and the first year, by the time our spring break vacation rolled around, I just thought, I just have to get out. This is not where I belong. And the second year I made it to Christmas vacation. I thought, I'm not going to make it through this. And the third year we started September 7th, and by September 30th I said, this is not for me. So it was a very long, long year. And then I knew it was time to try something else. So when I was ready to come down here, my principal gave me a year's leave of absence without pay, but he said, you'll have your job back, so don't worry. So I had a little foot in the door when I came down here, and I got into a wonderful movie called Slumber Party Massacre, which, yeah, I am a little embarrassed to say that, but I think even Michael Landon did. I was a teenage werewolf, so I think paying our dues, doing our horror thing. The funny thing was, when we all were shooting Little House, it came to a theater near us, and so these guys who were, what, 13 and 10, and Shannon went, and Alex, I don't think you were there, and Melissa, Leslie, we dragged all these boys off to see a screening of it at a movie theater, and I was so humiliated that their parents would find out and really be upset with me for taking them to this horrible movie. But yeah, I think we did sneak you in. But of course I didn't. I was the mother.
Leslie was.
So yeah, they're still speaking to me. I don't know why, but we all are in therapy for that experience. Okay. So yeah, are you sure? Okay, thank you. I am good. Can I just say that when I met this wonderful woman for the first time, I'm sure we were up in Sonora on vacation, shooting up there, and I hadn't met her yet, hadn't been able to work with her yet, and of course just loved her on the show, and was scared to death of her. Here we are in this hotel, and who should I see coming down the hall toward me but Allison? And I'm thinking, should I talk to her? Should I not talk to her? And she just embraced me, and she welcomed me to the show and everything, as did all of them. They really took all of us in, which you never know what's going to happen in a very tight ensemble, and they took us all in. But I will never forget that she was not anything like I thought she was.
You'll be nice and ask them some nice questions, because this is their first time ever in Walnut Grove. Ever. This is the first time they've come to a big university in their life. You guys haven't done anything like this ever, so they're new and they're a little nervous because they've never been in front of a big crowd of crazy Walnut Grove Prairie fans. So listen to them and ask them some nice questions, and they'll tell you. They're really good people. All right, thanks. I'm going to go sign some stuff.
Some crazy questions are also welcome.
This is how nervous I am. I actually had that dream where you don't have pants on. I had that last night. Like, I had the actual no pant dream. I was running through a park, not this park, with no pants.
And I had the dream where everybody walks out, so don't do that. David, what was your dream last night?
That's classified.
Well, does somebody want to throw one out there for us? Oh, great. Okay, so the question was, in Alden's dilemma, when Reverend Alden has a little competition in town because, as you know, the young Reverend Hale comes to town and is surprising him with a home of his own, and so he doesn't find that out to the end of the show, so there's a lot of mystery going on. And Victor French has been spying on Melissa and I, cleaning up this new house, getting it ready for the Reverend. And so he thinks, as he's hearing Reverend Hale from inside, if you notice, I shouldn't be telling you, you already know, the poetry that he's reading and the things that he's hearing on one-sided through a window, he's making up, of course, the idea that there's some shady going on. So when he really approaches us with it, and I finally realize how could think that of me and of Melissa, and how dare he think that, I go after him and I hit him, and he told me, because I was doing it very lightly, he said, no, you hit me, just go ahead and go. He says, I can take this, and he could, of course he could take it. So he let me really go after him, and I didn't do it very long. He said, no, keep going, just keep hitting me. And we did take after take after take, which is what the question was did he just do it one time, and that's good? Yeah, no. Some things are one time, like blowing up the town was one time. Not that. Thank you for the question.
The question was, how long was I on the Waltons? So I was on it so short that someone asked me a question earlier and I didn't have the answers. I was on 3 specials. I wasn't a series, I guess I was technically, not really. I did a Thanksgiving on Walton's Mountain, Mother's Day on Walton's Mountain, I did Christmas on Walton's Mountain, and I played John Curtis. And that's all I remember, to be honest. Sorry, I can lie and make it more fun. Oh, sorry. How old was I? Was the question? I want to say 7-ish, 7, 8-ish. Yeah. Yep.
Sure. I mean, it's hard to figure out where to start, like, with him. But, I mean, everybody's heard nothing but great things, and I don't think there are any bad things. So, just the best I can do is kind of give my interpretation of it, because something that hits me now, all these years later, is I left acting, had my own businesses and done things outside of the acting world and tried to get better at business and things like that. So I realized that, you know, when we came on that show, he was writing and directing, producing, and acting very little. He was in a little bit. But he was also, you know, he was directing a lot, but then he went away for a little while. I think he had a movie, he was filming a movie somewhere, so he was gone. But my point is, as like having been a business owner all these years, is that ship ran as perfectly and as comfortably, it was a very comfortable place to live, sort of be all the time. When he was there is when he was away. So all those people that worked with him for decades. I know he had a lot of those guys maybe for years. He brought a lot of these people that made up his team with him for decades. And so if he was there or he wasn't there, it was the same, like, warm-spirited, comfortable, a lot of practical jokes, a lot of pranks, a lot of fun stuff that made, you know, as kids, I'm sure, everybody, it made it so easy to do something that was pretty intimidating, or could be pretty intimidating, especially for kids. So that's my point. The other thing that I have to do is I haven't, over these last couple of days, been able to give him credit. I ended up going to UCLA Theater Film and Television School 5 years after the show, after working on the show. And I didn't have the best grades, let's be honest. I was about to go to another state army school, that's where I was headed. And I applied to UCLA and I was like, this could be cool. In LA. And I'm convinced to this day that I got into that school, because Michael Landon, I don't even remember how he knew that I was, maybe because I was still in touch with his kids that I was applying, but he wrote a letter of recommendation to me, unbeknownst to me, and I'm positive, 99% of how I got into that sort of higher education experience. Yeah.
My recollection of Michael was very similar. So now, keep in mind that I'm viewing this in the eyes of a 9 and 10-year-old, but he was just the most fun-loving, fun, normal person. He wasn't, a big celebrity to us, and he was just a great guy. He was very big on doing practical jokes and everything. And then again, I told this story last night. I don't know who was there last night, but it was really cool. I stayed the weekend at Michael Landon's house one weekend with Leslie Landon, and I'm sure some other kids were there, but I don't remember. There was a ton of them going to the grocery store getting snacks and we were watching movies in his house. And just may not be appropriate. And we were in the grocery store, and I did a little burp, and I was embarrassed. I said, "Oh my gosh, excuse me, I'm so sorry." And they said, "Oh, come on, you can do better than that." So then the two of us were burping a little more loudly in the grocery store in Malibu. That's kind of a funny little tidbit that I...
Dave, was it really burps?
As far as you know. So, he was a great guy.
He was. He hired me without a Screen Actors Guild card. You too? Or did you have your SAG card? Oh, okay. So I didn't have a union card. And to work a union show, you had to be union. But you could do one episode without being one if a producer and director said it was okay. So he let me do that. So he was the person that got me in the union that really started my career. And he didn't have to do that. So I was always grateful to him for that. When I got hired, excuse me for repeating this from before, whoever I told it to, but I love chocolate, so I was not the skinniest Hollywood person ever in the world, woman, and so when I went to, I guess it was Days of Our Lives, I was auditioning before I auditioned for Little House, and the casting director called my agent and she said, "Yeah, she's good, it's just a shame she's so fat." And I thought, I hate this town, I hate these people, I hate that you have to be this trophy wife and look this certain way. And so my agent told me, he said, "You better lose weight if you want to be in this business, in this category that you're in." And I said, yeah, and I didn't do anything about it. And so like 4 months later, I get this audition for Little House. When I moved from my teaching job to LA, I had written down, I just want to be on the Waltons or ABC Enough or Walt Disney or any Little House. So that's all I wanted, and I knew that was my dream. So suddenly I'm called into Little House. It's really what I wanted, but I still hadn't quit my job, which was working at a chocolate factory, and it was pack a box, eat a box, and I was happy with that. So yeah, they weren't happy with that. So I auditioned for Mike, and he was very sweet. He called my agent and he said, "She's terrific. I'm just going to need her to lose a little bit of weight for me." So, he's still doing that, but he wasn't saying, "It's a shame she's so fat." So I quit my job, I borrowed money from my parents, I joined a gym, and I started working out, and I made enough progress in about, I don't know, a couple of weeks, if that, before they called me back in for another audition. And he said he couldn't believe how I looked and how much weight I had dropped, and he was so happy with that discipline and that ability to do that. So I was so grateful that he acknowledged that and went on to give me a chance. And the first time that we were working together, I had so many questions. I think the very first day, if I can go on to tell little stories, we were out there at the Little House in Simi Valley, Tahoe Canyon, at the Sky Ranch, and we were looking at that beautiful fireplace, and I was tracing my name and the initials, and I was thinking, all these years I've watched this show, and I'm on this show, and I can't believe I'm on this show. And I was thinking to myself, I'm the only woman in this whole planet, on this whole earth, who's in these boots, in this prairie dress, and looking up there at that lot, and having this experience I dreamed about, and it was real for me. So it was a huge deal. And so Michael looked at both Stan and I, We're getting set up for the shot. He says, you guys, whatever happens, have fun. Use this time to really have fun and enjoy each other, and don't read your publicity. And I thought that was really great advice, and we did. Stan was so fun. By the way, he's so sorry he was not able to make the trip at the last minute, and he sends his love and his best to all of you. It would have been great to have had him here. He was tons of fun on the set, and that's all we did, right? We just had a lot of fun. But Michael was a gift, I think, to all of us.
So the question was, one of her favorite characters was Mr. Edwards. What was our interaction like with him?
Well, again, I told the story last night, but he's the one who taught me how to play liar's poker with a dollar bill. That's really what I remember the most about him, and a lot of the guys on the set, but like they were like guys. Him, Michael, Dean, these guys were like, they were the dudes, and we were like looking up to these guys. So, you know, the best parts were, for me, were always like lunchtime on the set, because we'd all be together with everybody, but just me over there working with somebody for an hour. So yeah, that's where I learned to gamble.
And he was every bit funny as you envisioned him being. He was an amazing, fun-loving jokester of a guy, and just this big. I mean, I was this tall. I'm only this tall now, but I was this tall. And it seemed like he was 9'8", 497 pounds. He was just this monster of a man, and just a gentle giant. And one thing I remember pretty specifically was I turned 10 on the show, and I had a birthday party in my house, and I remember the vast majority of the cast came, and I know he was there, Michael was there, I'm sure you guys were there. And I still remember to this day what Victor got me. It was kind of like this little 3D motion viewer thingy game, and that was like in 83, 84. But he was an amazing man.
And the other side of his great humor was his sensitivity as a director. When we worked with him a lot as a director, and he was an actor's director, as was Michael, an actor's kind of director, the kind you love to work with. And when we did Sins of the Father, he knew that that was a very emotional episode for Sarah, and Sarah needed to be in that frame of mind. And so there were many moments in that shooting of that where he asked everyone to be quiet on the set, or to leave the set so just the minimal amount of people were there, so that I wouldn't break my mood. And he didn't let me go hang out with anybody. I had to sit in one of the actor chairs and just sit there and think about what I was doing and have my time. And during the course of shooting it, we were having lunch together, and my parents were in town visiting, and we were all, at the same table, and all of a sudden he turns to, I think it was to Kent McCrae, who was next to him, and he said, "Could we use Dorothy, my mother, in the photo in Sins of the Father?" When he picks up the photo in the room and he's looking at his now deceased wife at that point, and he has to look at somebody because they thought it was going to be in the shot, and he said, "Let's use your mother, let's use your real mother." So I loved that he did that. She, of course, was scared to death, but they put her in hair and makeup, and they put her in a dress, and she stood there with her little purse in her hand, and she was so tight and scared just to have her picture taken, knowing she was going to be on Little House on the Prairie, that, Victor said, "Okay, why don't you just relax, put your push down here, and just do a circle, and just take a circle." Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you, they weren't doing stills, they were doing motion picture. They were filming her on the camera, and they were going to pull the still out of it. So this is how she did her circle, just like this, around, until she got clear to the other side, and she never ever did relax. She was just like this, and they thought it was really funny. They laughed, and they'd love her.
She's actually still going.
Yeah. So yeah, I loved that he did that. Unfortunately, when you watch the episode, they didn't do the over-the-shoulder look to see her, but when you watch it, you'll know that it was really my mother on the other side of that picture. What else have you done? Yeah, the question was, did we watch Little House before we were on it? They all did, right? Uh-oh.
How did it feel walking into your new house, walking into life right out of your home, and all of a sudden you're okay, that's awkward.
All right, so that's kind of a loaded question because there's so many die-hard fans here, and I know our family might be kind of controversial because I'm not going to say displaced, but you know what I mean. So the answer to that question is, so my recollection of it is, I was obviously very familiar with the show, but I didn't watch it. Have I seen 1 or 2 episodes? Possibly. In hindsight now, I see the gravity of it all, and I think that's what I'm getting. That's what I'm getting a take. That's my biggest takeaway from this weekend is all of you guys. And I haven't been in that, in the business since I was 12. So the fact that this has resurfaced at 46 now, and I'm affecting all of your lives, and I mean, you're just all amazing people, and it's just, I'm flattered. Like when there's some, it's just, I'm flattered. So I did not answer your question, but I had to get that off my chest.
One of the things we talked about and worried about was, what if nobody comes to stand in our line for our picture in our I mean, we were serious because, I still haven't forgiven the people who moved into my family home after 53 years of our family living there. And I get that it's hard to watch Ma and Pa go. It's hard to, even Laura said something in the first episode about it was difficult to have somebody else living in the house. And I don't think I really knew, because I was so excited to be a part of it, that maybe the fans would turn away, and many did. So I know we are extremely grateful that however long it took you to embrace us, that you actually did, because it means a lot to us. It's a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, again, similar experience to Dave, being so young, just the fact that we were going to, drive onto the lot of MGM, right? Like, that's where you're going to work all of a sudden, and like, you're not trying to sneak through the gate, you're like giving your name, and they're like, yes, sir. And, I wasn't driving, but yeah, I too was familiar with the series. I think you would have to have been under a rock to not know the extreme success that the show had. So yeah, there was a lot of, yeah, you could acknowledge that, there was a change in the air, there was a transition in the air, and that we were sort of the driving force for that. So yeah, I think we took that all pretty seriously. But it was also a lot of fun, a little overwhelming. Yeah.
What were our favorite episodes?
I have been saying Times Are Changing 1 and 2, the first 2 of season 9, because that's when that transition that we talked about occurred, where we had to sort of find our place. I don't have specifics about it, but I just remember, that was a big time in everyone watched the show's lives and our lives personally.
I had 3 favorites, but my number 1 favorite was Sins of the Fathers, which featured Jason and the boys getting me birthday presents that I rejected because I was jealous of the woman that had hired Jason to work for him to earn this. Oh, I'm sorry, I meant that. I'm sorry, I didn't do that. The last number. The last number is my favorite. Thank you. Working with
Vera
Miles. Thank you.
I'm her fact checker.
Did I tell you I was old when we started this?
She looks great for 96, doesn't she? I'm joking.
Yeah,
I'm grounded.
It was wonderful to work with her. It was great to be doing the story. I read the script and I cried when I read the script. I watched it again and I just fell apart again. It's just something for me.
And likewise, me too. And It's, my mom told me allegedly Michael wrote that script for me. Now I don't know if there's any truth to that or if that's just a mother proud of her son telling me that. So I have no idea. But I was in a lot of that show. And, the part, I mean, it was just a great show. And again, Vera Miles. And when I did it, I was a kid showing up. I didn't really know who she was. But in hindsight, when I looked at all that she's done, it was great. And I really had a good rapport with her, I think. And that was a great episode. And there's some really special moments that I shared with Pam in that. And actually, here's kind of a cool side story. About a month or two ago, I had dinner with Pam and Allison in LA. And again, I haven't been in the industry for a long time. As I committed to this thing, I wanted to get together with them. And I had never met Allison prior because we were on different seasons, right? Or we were, I guess, the return of Nellie, but I don't remember. So anyway, we had dinner, and Pam had the little brooch on her that she showed me, which is in the museum now. So that was kind of a special moment for me. So to answer your question, the last one was not that I remember.
Mine might have been Stud Muffin.
But that wasn't on the show.
I'm sure I must have been Queen Sarah, no doubt. You must have been something, babe. Yeah, can we take another one? Oh, okay.
You guys arm wrestle.
Philippe.
Philippe, because Philippe from Australia, ladies and gentlemen.
In terms of like your education on set, what was that like, and was it difficult transitioning back into like your regular school afterwards?
So his question was for Lindsay and I, what was education like on the set, and how did we adapt to transitioning back into being in schools full time? So when you're on the set, I believe it's 3 hours a day. It's mandatory that you have 3 hours of schooling on the day. So there's times when I think I was the youngest, and then there was it Jonathan who was the oldest. So let's just say 4th grade to a senior in high school, and everybody has their own relevant coursework. So I have 4th grade coursework, and the teacher on the set just kind of had to manage everybody's age-related schoolwork and what they were doing. Like Miss Beale. Yeah. But I think it was my in 4th grade, I missed 7 of 9 months of actual schooling because I was so busy, I was working on the set. But really the takeaway from that is I personally didn't have any trouble transitioning into regular school because you're consistently out of school.
My experience with that was it was cool because you're only going to school for 3 hours a day instead of however many more. So that was fun, and it was just like really almost self-directed work. You know, I mean, like David says, there's all kinds of kids. The teachers just sort of look out to make sure you're ticking all the boxes and turning the page. But then the other side of that is I really missed going to school, and I missed, when you're running around on auditions and you're 10 or 11 or 12, it's cool, but you're not going skateboarding with your buddies after school. You're not hanging out. You're not playing baseball. You're not playing sports. You're not doing everything that all your best friends are doing. So, on one hand, it's cool to sort of shortcut a lot of the school stuff, but then I ended up missing school and wanting to go back, and it was easy to get back in and dive back into full speed.
My experience with that, it was kind of lonely when they took the kids to the schoolroom. It was really great when they would bring them all back out again. So that was wonderful. Should we do a group shot here in the middle? Hey, you want to do a group picture?
We're done with questions, Paul?
We're going to do a group picture together.
Sorry, but
Thank you for embracing us. Thank you for the time you